It snowed last night, so let's go check it out. That's just snow falling off of the trees. We didn't get very much snow. It's really pretty. And it's already 34 degrees, even though it's only 7:30, so it's not going to last very long. That's really pretty. That tree needs to come down. Creek is still running just a little bit. Here's some free firewood that washed down here in the fall that we haven't got around to cutting up yet. There's the namesake of Brightbridgefarm. It's not very bright right now because we took all the glass panels off of it. So we were going to stain it this fall and we didn't get it done. It's going to have to be a spring project. One of the things I was walking out here to check out was we had this big limb fall last night. The snow was too heavy for it. You can see right up there where it came off. There it is. And thankfully it missed the deck to our above ground pool. We've known for a while that tree needed to come down. I guess we delayed a little too long. My dad gave me these old wagon wheels off of his farm. Been seeing foxes every morning run up here. Haven't seen them this morning and there's no tracks. Had 3 of them a couple of days ago. Isn't that pretty? Probably pretty hard on the tree though, that heavy snow. I just think this is kind of a pretty view looking down the creek. Now, if we were a little bit further south, we'd call that a crick. Okay, so you can see the fence line And our neighbors, well, that's what our property looked like when we moved in. It was just as overgrown as that. A lot of that is something called Asian honeysuckle, and it's very invasive. Snows like this pulled down a lot of limbs, kind of hard on people who oftentimes will pull their electrical service off their house. Got a bunch of firewood ready to split. Seasoning. Oh, some little animal's been through here. In the spring, we're gonna have a lot of limbs to clean up. Let's turn back and walk the other way. Now, when we bought our property, you couldn't walk this. It was just as overgrown as on that side. So this represents a lot of work, getting our property cleared out and more park-like, really. It's really not that cold out. It's like 36. We had tried planting these little trees as a border next to our neighbors, and they've just never taken off. I don't think they get enough sun. They haven't died, but they're not doing great. But as you can see, the neighbor's brush really hangs over. Alright, I'll walk up to the pond. Now this pond, it's not going to be full of water till spring. We cleaned it out in the fall. Well, first of all, it took us 5 years to cut down all the trees that were in it because we wanted to harvest them. We burned wood in the winter to help defray our heating costs. And it's got some water in it. It never had water before. It would never hold water. So cleaning it out and putting the bentonite in, oh, there's probably a couple of feet of water in there right now. But I mean, it's gonna come all the way up here to the edge once we get some heavy rains in the spring. It is kind of gratifying just to see it holding that much water. Whoever built the pond put it in kind of a strange place. They put it up high. We never understood why they didn't put it down low, but it's there. I'll go ahead and walk up here. And the way they designed it, it's got this little water runs down through there we had an extension agent come out, the county, and give us some advice on our pond when we moved in. And he said, well, it's not a pond. What do you call it? He said it's a burrow hole. So when we first moved out here, we asked like the county extension agent to come out, and we wanted to see if there was any financial assistance to restore the pond, because sometimes they do things like that for flood control, and there wasn't. But he looked at it, and it had all the trees in it, and he's like, well, this isn't a pond. We're like, well, what is it then? It's a big hole in the earth. And he goes, well, it's a burrow pit. And we're like, a burrow pit? What's a burrow pit? Like, I'm like, they had donkeys, and the donkeys kind of rutted out this hole. And he's like, no, this dirt is so rich, they were burrowing it. They were probably selling it. They burrowed dirt from this area. But that's not the case. We've talked to previous owners, and it was built as a pond, but it was not, it never held water very well. It wasn't built correctly. So hopefully my husband has corrected that, and we will have a pond again. So over there is my garden. Kind of sad looking right now, and I never got all the old tomato plants pulled out or got it cleaned out. And we've got some more wood curing over here. I don't know how much of this comes through on the video, but it's just extremely beautiful out this morning. Snow on the trees. Very peaceful. And we think all these trees were planted because they're basically in a line. So someone years ago must have planted those. Let's look back in there. Pretty. 5 acres is really quite a bit of land. You can do a lot on 5 acres. So don't think you need 40 acres to homestead. 5 is a lot. Now we really wanted 10, but that would have been getting really expensive. They had kind of, whoever originally built this had kind of made this like a little road up there. There's this old windmill and well. And when we bought this house, we were so excited because we thought the well was on our property, but it's not. It's actually just over the line on our neighbor's property. But it's a good stone well that still is holding water. And these trees I planted, they're kind of over a little bit onto our property. The deer have been eating them. Oh, it's so frustrating to me. I do not like that. They're pretty out. So pretty. But anyway, they've eaten my trees. My husband says, well, maybe they'll come back because the root ball is still in there, but I don't know. May have to replace them. Definitely gonna have to put some kind of wire fencing around them. Silly deer. It was the apples that they really, really liked. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? It's like artwork. Got it just on there. That's a heavy snow though. No wonder it's bringing down limbs. Look at all the limbs that are coming down. This was another pond because the pond up here actually has a relief area. It was meant to flow down into this pond, but this pond doesn't hold water either. But these ponds were probably built in the 70s. I mean, they're old. They were old ponds. And I'm gonna walk back in the woods just a little bit. Thought maybe we'd see some little animals, but not today. They're in their holes, I guess. There used to be an old concrete driveway over here, but it's mostly washed out. That down there, that little trickle of water, is what I call Brightbridge Falls. Snow falling off the trees. It's gonna melt fast. I put these chairs out here on this point just because it's just a pretty place to sit and watch the creek. But when we get heavy rains, these are too low. Well, they have to be moved up because the water will rise up this high over here. Looks like it's gonna clear out and the sun's gonna come up. These are my bigger fruit trees. I planted them the year we moved in, so they're about 5 years old. And we got quite a bit of fruit last year. And then around the corner, when we moved here, there was one fruit tree, this really, really old apple tree, and it's seen better days. It didn't produce much fruit last year. The year before, it produced a little fruit, and it was good. Oh, finally, the sun is coming out. I have not seen the sun for days. Wonderful sight. All right, I am going to attempt to walk down to the creek. I don't know, this may not be a good idea. This ground is kind of rough, and with the snow, you can't see what you're stepping into. Isn't that pretty? That's always been one of my favorite views. Start seeing the sun hit the trees, the tops. Ooh, I made it down here. Oh, that's muddy. Very muddy. It's not frozen. Here we are, Brightbridge Falls. I think I better go any further because that water gets a little deeper over there, and I'm not sure my boots are tall enough. we bought this place, it was so heavily wooded that you couldn't see the creek. And it took a lot of time to clear out the brush. We left some brush, mainly to shield us from some junk on the neighbor's property, but it's a pretty peaceful view though. Something's ran through here. Well, it's really time to quit lollygagging. I got a ton to do today. But starting the morning with a walk in the snow is a pretty good start. The snow won't be here very long with that sun coming up though. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little tour of Brightbridge Farm. It was gorgeous today in the snow. I hope you have a wonderful day.